25 to 6. Lady Gaga there with Hair. You're listening to Tuesday Drive. Now, for all of us that have grown up in Nowra or anywhere across the Shoalhaven, there's always certain businesses that we tend to go back to. Maybe it's because of the products they have, the prices, the location, or even just that good old-fashioned customer service that's just top-notch. Now, of course, there's some places like doctors and dentists that you tend to go back to because you build up a rapport, don't you? And would I dare say that the hairdresser is another business that, once you've found one, you don't go anywhere else because they know what you like. Leah Davies has been running Spirals in Junction Street for many years, but has hung up her apron and switched the blow dryer off for the final time. And I'm very happy to say she joins me in our Triple U FM studio this afternoon to talk about her time in the industry. Leah, hello and welcome.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good. Now, look, I'll just have a number 2 around the side, please, and just a bit of a blow dry, if you don't mind. You reckon you can handle that in there?
I think you'll have to go see the new owner,
Oh,
Beck.
dear. Now, tell me, just come into that microphone a bit for me. How long have you been in business for?
So I've had the salon, or did have the salon for 17 and just over 4 months. Yeah, 17 years and 4 months.
That's nearly 2 decades. That's a long time.
Yeah, my children have grown up in there. It's been interesting. Very good times.
Now, I was fascinated, and I didn't know this about your business. We were just chatting off air before, but your business has actually been, well, not your business, but that building, that salon has been there for nearly 40 years.
I think so, because myself and the previous owner, we had it for 30 years, and then Karina had it before that and Tanya had it before that. So it's been an actual salon now. I would have a guess at close to 40 years.
That's incredible. And what was it before it was a salon?
I think before that it was a bank.
A bank,
wow. Yeah.
So that building, I dare say, has a lot of stories to tell.
Definitely. And out the back was the old original saddlery for Nowra.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any old photos or anything that you've collected over the years?
I posted one quite a while ago with the Bindens that still own the building.
Right.
And they had the saddlery, and they had a photo of the black and white where they had the saddlery and it was the shop. Yeah.
Wow. Now, hairdressing is one of those jobs, I guess, you either love it or you hate it. Where does your passion come from for hairdressing? Where did it all start?
Okay, so probably my mother would say all my life I've always wanted to be a hairdresser, and I think that was just something that was in me. I don't even think that I could choose anything else, which is why I'm sort of any job's going? No. So I, straight out of school, 16-year-old, couldn't get a job down here, couldn't get an apprenticeship because every girl wanted to be a hairdresser when I was younger. So I moved to Sydney and did my apprenticeship and worked for 13 years up there, and then came home after I had my first child.
And so when you came back to Nowra, so you've trained up in Sydney, was the business up for sale when you came back to Nowra?
No, I worked for Cut Loose down at Nowra Fair for 2 years, and in that time Wendy decided to sell, so I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to jump on, and we built a house and I bought a salon all in the same 6 months. So,
were you married at the time?
Yes, I was.
So
yeah.
Did you just say to your husband, hey, by the way, I want to buy a hair salon, what do you think of that? How did that go down?
Pretty much. He's pretty easygoing, thank goodness, because he's had to put up with me now for, 26 years or something, 28 years.
So over those 17 years, how many days a week would you say that you've worked there each week?
Gosh.
On average?
Well, it depends when you've got staff or not, whether but I pretty much worked it out the other day that I think overall I've had, without being off for operations or, sick or something like that, I think just holidays, I think I've had around 12 weeks in 17 years.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's coming to the end after 17 years, and you're about to say, you've said goodbye, I guess, but what was that like when when you've made that decision after nearly 2 decades to close the business, your side of the business, that is?
Yeah, so it was a really tough decision. We had a bit of time off with COVID, and it was really tough, and trying to find staff was really, really tough at the time. And I just, after 17 years, I still haven't worked out how not to take it personal when staff decide to move on. And that's probably the biggest factor, I suppose, was the fact that I just, it's just really hard with staff, and you become like family, and they all become like family to me.
Because you're essentially a small business.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, and we are a family business. Like my mum also worked with me every day, and so it was a tough decision, but it's also the right decision, and I actually feel really happy, Steve. Like I'm actually enjoying being at home today, and yeah, it's been great.
Because they'd be long hours, wouldn't they?
Well, they are, yes, yeah. I work, it's Monday to Saturday, and it's, we do a late night every week, so they are long hours.
Has it been a bit of a shock for you now that you're not working and you've got a whole day to yourself, and not just one day, you've now got, 7 days to yourself? Has that been a shock to the system?
Actually, totally. I feel like I'm on holidays. I really do. Like, I feel 10 foot tall, and I feel like I feel relaxed. I woke up this morning and I was like, biggest thing I have to do is take my daughter to school. So that's it.
Oh, and a radio interview, of course.
And of course, yes.
Coming to Triple UFM. Now, one of the things that I loved about your business was the fact it's got quite a prominent position on Junction Street. Now, you've been there 17 years. Have you seen some changes on that iconic street, Nowra?
Oh, we certainly have. When I first took over, it was probably, I would say, a little bit more community-based. I would say that, you could walk out the front door and you would know nearly everybody walking by. You would see everybody. I would say in the last couple of years, that's kind of changed a little bit. Like, there's so many more people in the area that you don't really know. And, yeah, it's sort of, and I think we lost a little bit of the community things that we used to do as well. There used to be crazy days for the CBD, and, the Nowra show parades, and, the biggest morning teas for the Cancer Council. And, there was a lot more sort of community events, I suppose. Yeah.
And I guess over those years there's been quite some iconic businesses on Junction Street as well that sadly are no longer there. Have you got any sort of favourite ones over the years at all?
Oh, gosh. It has to be the Oasis as a standout for me. Oh, my gosh, their food. Oh, I think everyone that starts working with me puts on weight because they go and have lunch at the Oasis every day.
So I got you to blame there, Leah. Okay.
But, I mean, the same, look at Comfort Shoes. Like, some of the iconic places that are still been there that, have outlived me. But although the salon still continues, which is fantastic for the new owner. So.
Now, I've got to ask, COVID-19 has affected so many people. How did you guys get through it?
Okay, so it was tough. The government, I think, did a phenomenal job in as far as what they could. The JobKeeper program was a lifesaver for most small businesses. We did pretty well. We only closed for, I think it was 7 days or 9 days. No, 5 days. Sorry, it was only 5 days we closed for.
That would have been a tough decision.
Yeah, it was. Although, there was so many hairdressers that actually wanted to close, and then the government decided that we should remain open, which was quite controversial because there was a petition that went for all hairdressers, and that went around. I think there was 44,000 signatures on it within 3 days, and yet we still remained open. And then we just, it was really tough times, but you get through it. You sanitise, you clean, you don't use everything singly, and you abide by the 4 square metre rule, which is a really tough thing to do in a small business. I think that's probably the thing that's hurting everyone the most now, is the simple fact that you know, you can go to a club or a cafe or somewhere and sit with, I think, up to 30 people now, and yet you can't sit 1.4 metres beside somebody facing a mirror. So that's a really tough one that I think they're going to have to really look at for small businesses.
But you've got through it and you've come to the other side.
Yeah, we have.
Now, hairdressers are well known for having, stop giggling like that, but they're very well known for having a chat. Have you had any memorable customers over those 17 years at all?
Oh, totally. You know, the people I've met, the staff I've had, I've been so fortunate. You know, a rival radio station came in and, you know, had a memorable day, you know, where he worked in the salon. That was really fun. So, yeah, it's been great.
I reckon too, you'd have, you'd know a lot of secrets about Nowra. I reckon you'd have a lot of people in divulging a lot. And I guess I can't push you for anything, can I? No.
In one ear and out the other.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's a vault.
Now, look, Leah, we're running out of time, unfortunately, and I'd like to play a little bit of a quick one-question quiz with you.
Sure.
Yeah, you ready for this? Now, it's an audio question, so let me just play this little piece of audio for you.
And now, broadcast live in front of a live studio audience for the first time from the certified up-to-code WYGT studio, it's the Corny Collins Miss Hairspray Spectacular.
He's corny.
Brought to you by Ultra Clutch Hairspray. What gives a girl power and punch? Is it charm? Is it poise? No, it's hairspray. What gets a gal?
All right, and that's the fundamental part of my question for you, Leah. Is hairspray all the same?
No, definitely not. There is good quality hairspray and then there is not.
What does bad hairspray do to one's hair?
Makes it gluggy.
Oh, right.
It builds up on your hair and makes you look like you've got dandruff coming off.
Really? Yes. I had no idea. So that's why that was a genuine question there. I really wanted to know. Look, Leah, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon and sharing your experience and your memories with us. And look, best of luck with the road ahead. I hope everything works out for you. And look, I suspect, though, as a hairdresser, now that you're leaving, it's once a hairdresser, always a hairdresser, and that you're going to have a lot of family and friends calling on you over the years. Do you reckon?
Oh, yes.
Thank you so much for coming in this afternoon, Leah.
Thanks, Steve.
That was Leah Davies, the former owner of Spirals in Junction Street, who's leaving the business after 17 long years, leaving all the dramas behind her and embarking on a new chapter of her life. And I thought this would be a great song from Mary J. Blige, No More Drama. This is Tuesday Drive. Good afternoon.
From Nowra to Ulladulla, Milton to Gerringong. This is Tuesday Drive with Stephen, a local voice with a local heart.